There goes the chat numbers. Let's get the microphones here where we like to have them. Shooting at a baseball game in D.C. Half of the United States believes a deadly COVID conspiracy theory. Oh my God. Hey, Karen, with the 3 right off the bat. Facebook user, whoever you are, if you go to chat.restream.io/FB, your name can show up in the chat instead of it just saying Facebook user. If you want your name to show up, go head on over on your smart device or wherever you're watching this from, chat.restream.io/FB. Click the blue button and you'll be able to, your name will show up here. Why we have to do that now, I don't know. Things are getting worse, like everything in the world, I guess. Very upset. When I was in Orlando, I was talking to my mom's next door neighbor, and he said, we're selling the house. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, what an opportunity for me, to buy the house next door to my mom so I can move in next door, So I said, what you're asking? He said, we haven't had it appraised yet. He said, but as soon as we get it appraised, I'll let you know, and I'll give you a really good deal on the home. And I said, okay, great. So I texted him a photograph of the paint oil not my triage oil, but the spray that my mom had that was really good, because he wanted to know what that was. And I sent him a picture. He never responded. I was like, that's a little weird, but I didn't want to be a pest or anything, so I waited and waited and waited. I never heard from him. So it's like almost 2 months now has gone by. It's been 6 weeks or something like that. So I'm like, man, I haven't heard from the guy yet, man. What the fuck? So I text him. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? How's it going? He's like, yeah, we're in the process of moving. We sold the house. So I didn't go live after that point. I called my sister. And I was like, you're not going to believe what the neighbor did. She's like, what? I'm like, well, he told me he was going to sell me the house. And he just up and sold it behind my back. He didn't even fucking tell me that they got it appraised. She's like, well, he's always been flaky. I'm like, really? And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, years ago, Dad had back surgery when we first moved into the house. And the neighbor was a doctor. He's a doctor. He said, let me know when you want to have your staples taken out. He says, and I'll do it at your house for you. So, my father was uncomfortable with the staples. They let the neighbor know he wanted to have the staples taken out. So the neighbor never comes over, instead gives my sister the staple remover. And my sister ended up pulling 30 staples out of my father's back. My sister, with no medical training, no medical background at all. Thing was, I'd never heard that story before until yesterday. I'm like, man, if I had known that, I would have known not to trust the guy. That was my problem, was I trusted somebody that I've never had to trust before. He was my neighbor for years, but we didn't really talk, man. In fact, that guy let the whole goddamn forest grow between his house and my parents' house, so we couldn't even see them. He never come down to the fucking stream that runs between the two homes. I built a beach and a deck and made it gorgeous on our side, and their side was completely overgrown with vines and trees, right? So I never had much interaction with them. But it just goes to show you guys, don't ever trust a stranger or even your neighbor if you've never dealt with them before. If you don't know what kind of a person, and you really want something, you want to do, I wanted that house, man. I was all excited. I was going to move back to Florida. I was going to move in right next door to my old, to my mom's house. Don't ever trust people blindly. If you have no dealings with them in the past, then don't. And I really wanted that, and I trusted that guy, man. I did. I was like, this guy's gonna hook me up. He's like, he said, oh, if I'm selling the house to you, I'm gonna give you a really good deal. Turns out he didn't want to sell the house to me. He wanted the money. He wanted more money. He didn't want to give somebody a good deal. He wanted people to fight over that thing, and he wanted the most money. Hey, man, don't you all? Doesn't everybody? He made a killing on the home, too. The house sold for over $500,000. And, to me, the house was worth fucking $300. Not a great house. But it did have a tennis court and a swimming pool, which was nice. Nice, on a third of an acre or half an acre, something like that. But it was next door to my mom's house, Would have been perfect. Glad I called my sister last night to talk to her about it. I obviously picked the right person to discuss that with. Good, you went live. Good for you, Karen. Good for you. Now, come up with some content and start entertaining your audiences. Florida real estate is off the chain right now. Right, Phil? Yeah, that's what he was saying. It's like, now's the time to buy and move into a rental house until we figure out what's going on. I was like, okay, Mr. Financial Advice. Two responses from Phil and from Karen. Like I said, I'm glad I talked to my sister about it because you guys don't have anything to say about it, obviously. Let's move on, shall we? American democracy, mass shootings? What? I used to get tuna fish over there at Subway. There's an article here. It says, we changed everything except our tuna. Dude, I used to love that Subway tuna, man. It's all I would get. I'd go to Subway. I'd get the tuna with bacon. That was my thing, man. That's how I got up to a 40-inch waist. Eating big subs from Subway. Hey, Ann. Hey, Kevin. Cool about peppermint oil killing spider mites? Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. That guy that tried to kidnap that 5-year-old, they caught him. They caught that motherfucker. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Who does that shit? I'm going to steal your 5-year-old child. That guy's dead. He's a dead man. He's a dead man. As soon as he goes to jail, they're going to fucking kill him. They're just waiting. They're just waiting for him. Red meat, bro.
Brand new, highly animated interview with Vice President Harris.
Hey, fuck you, CNN. If I wanted your video to play on my goddamn website, on your website, I'd press the play button. I don't need some fucking dumbass engineer fucking trying to figure out that videos should just automatically start to play at CNN.com. And I'd like to take that engineer out back and give him a fucking beatdown. Whoever the fuck that little prick was. Dude, I don't need to fucking hear that fucking screaming. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm reading the fucking article. I don't need to hear fucking Ron Burming screaming in my fucking ear. You're glad they caught him, right, Debbie? Right, Debbie? Me too. Speaking of peppermint oil, will that work on worms eating the leaves off my vegetable plants? No. Alan Bluedorn, good morning. It doesn't work on large insects. It only works on small ones. I hate engineers, but you could try it and let me know. I mean, who knows? Maybe the peppermint oil rips their fucking, their flesh apart. Because it is a little acidic. All engineers suck my dick. All of them suck my dick. Fucking hate engineers, man. You guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know, if you were an engineer back in the 50s and the 60s, you were a fucking genius. You know? As soon as about the late 70s and the 80s came around, that's when everything went to shit. It's the Coke-Pepsi wars. And then we realized that these fucking industries, they're shit. And they're employing morons because they're not trying to make better products. They're just trying to make more money. So they hired a bunch of engineers like Elon Musk who could figure out ways to rip people off so that they could make more money. A bunch of fucking little Elon Musks. You know, redesigning the fucking power plug on the side of their car so no other company can use it, and so you can't drive a Tesla into any other charging station. That's the genius behind Elon Musk. Adam Benson. I would trust the guy with nothing. He's a true moron. Is it Brett Moran? Is Brett Moran a fucking, is Brett, he called him a moron. Is Brett Moran an engineer? Last I talked to Brett, man, he was doing really good, actually. Facebook user, morning, have you ever heard of Dr. Earth? No, but, you know, you could try anything. You know, I would try whatever until you find something that works. How long ago? How long ago did I talk to Brett Moran? I think it was about a year ago on Facebook. Or he popped into one of my live streams and freaked me out. I don't know, man. I can't remember. It wasn't that long ago. And we just shot the shit for a couple minutes. We were fucking crazy kids at Lake Mary, weren't we, dude? We were fucking crazy. Yeah, you still see him around? That was just funny. You said he's a true Moran. So, you guys want to smoke? And talk about the news for a minute here? Two Olympic Village athletes test positive for COVID. Spread that shit around. So, Sagar and Crystal were talking about the opioid problem that we were having right before COVID hit. When COVID hit, the opioid problem got worse. And anecdotally, I've got to tell you, all of my friends here, they all started doing hardcore drugs. As soon as, within, months of COVID and the lockdown, that all of my old friends that were into hardcore drugs in here where I live, man, they all started doing fucking drugs. And it was whatever they could get their hands on. And they were telling me about it. And I'm just like, it was everybody, guys. It was everybody. So just anecdotally, man, I could probably name 10 people that just started doing hardcore drugs that were doing fine until the fucking COVID hit. And that's all it took. So this is one thing you guys should think about, okay? This isn't something that a lot of us have ever put any thought into. But if you have addictions or you have issues that can be triggered by stress or stressful situations or an unhealthy environment, well, then what do you think climate change is going to be, guys? Stressful and unhealthy environment for everybody. So you guys got to start realizing what's going on. You guys got to get more conscious and cognate about the issues that face you when times get tough, because they're only going to get tougher, guys. It's not what drugs? All hallucinogens, methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, the opioids, dude, you name it, bro, all of it. They got into all of it, everything except cannabis, because all of them already were using cannabis. And that wasn't enough for them, man. It was like, I was like, what are you guys doing, man? It's that just because the world starts coming to an end doesn't mean it's time to start fucking popping every drug that you can get your hands on into your system. You guys are not making the situation any better for yourselves. You're making it harder to deal with this shit. You know, you just anecdotally look at what Mark did with the fucking tomato plant. You know, I mean, I know that's silly and stupid, and I got a little more upset over that than what you guys may have perceived that I should have, but you guys didn't know the whole story. And then once I explained the entire story and the history over the last 2 months, maybe you can correlate that with what I just said about people using more drugs now that they're on lockdown. And Mark is no exception, man. He's had run-ins with drugs his whole life, and his usage definitely went up during COVID. And it affected our relationship, man. It affected the way I can trust him, you know? So remember this. When it starts getting bad, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better, check yourselves, man. Talk to yourself. Have that conversation with yourself. Hey, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to fall into that. I still have a productive, incredible life to live, even if you're just producing vegetables for your family and your neighbors. You can do it. And you can enjoy every day of your life that you have left. Triple C. Griffin, what's up, buddy? So that's important. So Europe got destroyed by the flooding. Eastern Europe. Western Europe. COVID has hurt so many people. Some will have long-term or lifetime problems from what we're experiencing. Lifetime. No, man, if it doesn't affect you personally, it's really hard to wrap your brain around the fact that there are people that their lives have been shortened from COVID. How much electricity do you waste doing your bullshit stream every day? None? Zero? Great question, Elite Wizard 407. Yeah, I'm from the 407, actually. That's a Florida area code. Are you in Orlando? Douchebag? Douchebag says what? Let me know. And once again, I'm going to amplify the answer. I'm going to go ahead and read this question out, and I'm going to give you guys the answer, and this gives me an opportunity to pontificate. So Elite Wizard 407 says, speaking of climate change, how much electricity do you waste doing your bullshit stream every day? And my answer is 0. And I didn't really pontificate, but now I will. So when you look out this window, you see 96 solar panels in my yard. My power is free. I get it from the sunshine. I take that power, I store it in batteries, and in the middle of the day, my power comes straight from those panels. And at night, it comes from my batteries. So how much electricity do I waste? Well, none. I've got a 1,200 watt pump running on this waterfall 24/7. You know, I've got grow lights that I leave on at night in my grow room. I have more power than I will ever need, and I don't waste a single watt of electricity because it's all free and I'm generating all of it myself. So I'm not wasting any of your precious grid power, Elite Wizard 407. Peppermint oils kills a lot of bugs and repels all kinds of other bugs. I have been in pest control for 20 years. Ask how I could tell you how to get rid of any pest. Also, good morning. Matthew Parsons, how do I get rid of brown recluse spiders coming out of my attic? I was highly addicted to Vicodin, was taking 40 every other... What? 40 Vicodin? That won't kill you? What were they, 0.05s or something? Elite Wizard 407 doesn't have a response. I love when I shut a troll down. That was your Hulk smash, bro? How much electricity do I waste doing my bullshit stream every day? That was your Hulk smash? That was your fucking atomic bomb drop, bro? Was that your mic drop? You must have a teeny, teeny, tiny little microphone. It went... Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. No, honestly, you have to go in the attic and drench the egg sacs. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't they have a lizard or something that will just go in there and eat them all? Did I sound like someone who has no idea what they're talking about, insects, for a second? Sarah Williams. Good morning, Sarah. I love that name, Sarah. Just kind of rolls off the tongue. Make the area as dry as you can. Matthew says, ha, ha, ha. Shutting trolls down every day. That's what I do. Guy didn't even have a response to that. You know, it's almost always a troll has a comeback, like ready to go. This guy had nothing. He had nothing. 96 solar panels that will become toxic waste at the end of their lifespan. You know what? That's not my problem, Elite Wizard. You know what my problem is? Producing energy here. It's kind of like the way lumberjacks cut down trees. Wow, that tree's never going to grow back. Yeah, but I had to build a house out of it. Huh. But it was a beautiful tree. Well, but now I'm living in a beautiful home. So sometimes we have to sacrifice things, Elite Wizard, so that we can have the things we want. So, you know, you're worried about toxic waste on a planet that won't have any humans left on it by that time anyway. Because in 20 years, when those panels aren't working anymore, I'm probably going to be dead, and all humanity's probably going to be dead too. So, who's going to be worried about my trash? You got anything else, buddy? You got anything else? Elite Wizard, you're so elite. You're really taking me down a peg. Please. Give me more opportunity to explain to my audience how awesome my off-grid living really is. And I am 100% off-grid. I don't need any fucking power ever again from PG&E. I could totally survive right here, and I'd have so much fucking power, I could run a small town. Their food source is low? I don't know, man. I'm assuming that's where they're coming from. They might be crawling in from the ground, too. All the Vicodin caused Hep C. Yeah, I don't think so, Karen. I don't think Vicodin causes Hep C. I think you had sexual contact with somebody who had Hep C. But I'm not a medical doctor, but I heard that hepatitis was something that you contract from other people. I thought that that's how you get it. I didn't think that it just developed inside your body magically. But, you know, maybe somebody out there with more knowledge can correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so we haven't smoked yet today. Thank God you'll be dead in 20 years. If you're such an alarmist, maybe you should just kill yourself now. Hey, everybody should report Elite Wizard 407 for putting a harmful post on YouTube. Everyone should report him on YouTube. Elite Wizard 407. And I'm going to leave this up so everybody can see it. Look what this guy said. He says, just kill yourself now. Hey, man, that sort of rhetoric's not allowed on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you're a live podcaster or if you're writing shit in somebody's chat. So if you guys are on YouTube, go ahead and report the channel Elite Wizard 407 for suggesting suicide on YouTube. They don't allow that. I know my terms of service. It's Elite Wizard 407, and before I block him from my live stream, I want everybody to see it. All right? Go ahead and report Elite Wizard 407 on YouTube, guys. All right? I'm going to go ahead and block him now. Have fun with that channel, buddy. The doctor told you that? Yeah. Doctors have also said that triage oil is full of germs and you shouldn't ever put it on your body. Don't believe everything a fucking doctor says. You could track hepatitis from sharing needles or sexual contact. Sarah Williams, right? And I really don't think that Karen was the kind of person to be sharing needles. But the last I heard, hepatitis was a sexually contracted disease. You know, that's what I heard. And, you know, maybe the science has changed on that. Let me know. Triage oil is a great product, isn't it? So is the man who invented it. He's a great product of society. I'm a product of society. Reported him. Hey, Yo-Yo. Then, Yo-Yo, if you reported that guy, this bong rip is for you. Anybody that wants to report anybody that suggests suicide or anything like that, you're a hero to me, man. I wish more of you would be my hero and report that guy. So thank you for being my hero, Yo-Yo. More of you could be my hero if you guys report that channel. Go report Elite Wizard 407 on YouTube for self-harm or dangerous acts or whatever you want. Whatever they have on there. You know. Let him know that he's on live streams telling people they should kill themselves. That'll make your dick shrink, won't it? Elite Wizard 407, you worried about you losing your channel now, buddy? You should be. And I hope you do. Cheers, guys. That's never been so easy to deal with a troll before. You just opened yourself up to that one, dude. Maybe read the terms of service next time. See, legal drug use is allowed, but talking like you were just talking, that isn't allowed. You got the right to know your toss, provided, of course, you don't mind a little investigation, deterioration, repudiation. These are your rights. Know your rights. Know your toss. Thank you, Sarah. It's Elite Wizard 407, everybody. It's easy for me to remember 407 because I came from the 407 area code. I'll be getting more triage oil this week. Tremendous help from my mom, James DeWeaver. Ooh, James DeWeaver. Be getting more triage oil this week. Tremendous help for his mom. Nay blocked him from the chat. Yes, I did. So, you guys want to take a second that are in the YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up? I noticed, I went to a couple videos that had 0 thumbs ups on them. So let me just say, if you guys want to give me the thumbs ups on YouTube while you're there, thank you. Also, if you guys want to share this, do your thing. You guys know how to do it. You don't need to share it. It's not a requirement. But if you choose to do it, I really, really appreciate you guys. I really, really appreciate the sharing. If you can get more trendies in here, you know, just some of the old school people, let them know that I'm live. That'd be great. It is Sunday, so there are people sleeping in and whatever, but all right, let's move on. We'll hit up the YouTube news next. Got to go. No, Adam, you don't have to go. You do not have to go. You can stay, Adam. You can stay. You can stay. You can hashtag keep it open. You can hashtag take it with you. Keep your phone on, bro. Put the headphones in, bro. Go have breakfast with your family and listen to some trendy Nate, bro. Come on, bro. What are you doing, bro? Yo, Adam, do you remember those crazy mason jar bongs I used to make? With the fucking, with the cork top and the big hose and the big bowls on them? Remember that, bro? We used to have so much fun. Hey, man, let's play member berries, bro. Yo, bro, do you remember hanging out in the Springs, bro? Carrie, hey, what's up? Resistance Media. Do not eat peanut butter until you watch this. Huh. Right, I can't eat peanut butter or I'll have cysts all over my body. I don't know what the fuck. Dude, why does your body chemistry change? Like, I ate peanut butter my whole life. John Calloway. I'm not riding and running this morning. About to smoke and fish. Riding and running? John Calloway. Smoke and fish. Right on, man. I hope you could keep it open, bro. And keep the show open and listen to what we have to say. Hi, Karen. Trendy Nick. And Nick, what's up, buddy? Nick Brown? J Bone. Keep it open. Ann Knudsen. I Twitter. AOC tells Morning Joe about Manchin's leaked call with billionaire. Look, I fucking hate AOC. I fucking hate her. But I do like the Rational National. And if you guys don't know who the Rational National is, maybe you guys should check him out. I'm going to let you guys check him out here. I'm subscribed to his channel. I am on notifications for him, and you guys can do this too. Let him know that I sent you. Like I said, I know I personally don't like AOC, but at the same time, I think this is an important little thing that we should probably watch together, guys. So let's pay attention to this little news thing. And it is from the Rational National, so it's from a great source. Check out the Rational National on YouTube. Okay? Here we go.
Leaked yesterday on The Intercept about the senator's conversations with big donors.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was on MSNBC's Morning Joe and brought up the fact that a huge story came out that right now isn't really being widely reported.
Now, what I want to say is this. Did I do it right? The tweet, Ann Knudsen. And I just want you to know you're greatly appreciated. Thank you, Karen. Guillain-Barré disease damaged her hands, bad pins and needles in her hands, nerve damage, but triage has really helped. James DeWeaver. Okay, James. I'm going to put that on Twitter real quick. You guys please head over to Twitter and retweet that right now. All right? My last tweet. It starts out James DeWeaver. Then it says, Guillain-Barré disease damaged her hands, bad pins and needles in her hands, nerve damaged, but triage has really helped. Thanks for your triage, mate. And you guys could retweet that and put hashtag triage oil. if you guys want to help out the cause, man, if you guys believe in triage oil, if you guys want more people to feel less pain, you can go retweet those tweets.
Leaked audio from a meeting that
And
Joe Manchin...
can I just say this? AOC, are we supposed to believe that AOC doesn't talk to big money donors on the phone? Because I don't buy that shit for a second. You know why? Because she answers directly to Nancy Pelosi, who is worth, what now, $200 million now, Nancy Pelosi? So I'm sure Nancy Pelosi, since that's Mama Bear, I'm sure she's hooking up AOC with big money from big money donors. I'm certain of it. I'm certain that AOC is getting everything that she needs. She's corrupt as fuck. And even if there isn't a single penny to show for it in her finances, she's getting something down the pike.
Had with big donors. And there are some incredible revelations in that audio. So first here, if you want to listen to the full...
So before I listen to what Joe Manchin, because I know Joe Manchin's a piece of shit, but before I listen to what Joe Manchin says, I'm going to say, so are we supposed to believe AOC isn't corrupt either? Because she's definitely the pot calling the kettle black. You know, she's calling the Tesla. She's the Tesla calling the fucking what would you say? She's the Tesla calling the fucking the 350 Chevy a burden on the environment. She's the Tesla calling the 350 Chevy a burden on the environment. Trust me, like that kid just came in here and said, "Oh, your solar panels are going to go into a landfill in 20 years," and blah 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 blah. And that's true. And that Tesla creates just as much CO2 and misery around the planet. And literally, Elon Musk wanted to start a coup in another country over lithium for his precious batteries that they're mining out of the ground and putting poison into the ground. And you guys, you have no idea the damage that electric cars do to the world. It's just as bad as the toxic CO2 coming out of the gasoline burning cars. Switching over at this point is fucking pointless. This whole thing should have been done in the 60s. And we were too late. Too late. We fucked up. But I digressed so far, didn't I? I hope you guys can appreciate that, and I wandered a little.
Breakdown of this, check out the Intercept's Deconstructed podcast. I'll link to this below the video. The podcast is embedded in this. But here's their headline. Leaked audio of Senator Joe Manchin call with billionaire donors provides rare glimpse of deal-making on filibuster and January 6th commission. Manchin urged big money donors with no labels to talk to Senator Roy Blunt about flipping his vote on the commission in order to save the filibuster. I'm going to get to AOC's reaction to this in a second here, and I'm glad she brings this up because The Intercept will not be brought up on MSNBC, especially Morning Joe, apart from a guest doing it. But just to give you an idea of what went on here. So this was a meeting hosted by the group No Labels, a big money operation co-founded by former Senator Joe Lieberman that funnels high net worth donor money to conservative Democrats and moderate Republicans. And in this
funnels,
one of the many revelations from this tape has Manchin telling the assembled donors that he needed to help flipping a handful of Republicans from no to yes on the January 6th commission in order to strip the far left of their best arguments against the filibuster. The filibuster is a critical priority for the donors on the call as it bottles up progressive legislation and would hit their bottom lines. When it came to Senator Roy Blunt, a moderate Missouri Republican who voted no on the commission, Manchin offered a creative solution. Quote, Roy Blunt is just a good friend of mine. A great guy, Manchin said. Roy is retiring. If some of you all who might be working with Roy in his next life could tell him, that'd be nice and it'd help our country. that would be very good to get him to change his vote. And we're going to have another vote on this thing. That'll give me one more shot at it.
It is next life.
What Joe Manchin is saying here...
Wait, whoa. Is after he leaves the fucking Senate in his next life and becomes an executive at a big corporation to change his vote and take his money from the corporation and buy off senators with it. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see what the Rational National says, because this guy's way smarter than me.
Basically telling these big donors, offer Roy Blunt some financial opportunities in the future when he retires, and do so in order for him to vote with us
now
on this commission.
Oh my God, it's just as bad. Okay, I had it a little backwards. Make him the offer for the future so that he'll vote today. Wow, see, I told you Rational National's smarter than me. That's why you should be watching Rational National. That's why you should be watching Rational National. Excellent.
This is everything wrong with Washington, D.C., the revolving door. Manchin here negotiating with billionaire donors to get them to...
And revolving door is what I'm talking about. You know, it doesn't matter who's sitting in the Senate. It doesn't matter who's sitting in the fucking in the corporations as the CEOs. It doesn't fucking matter, because they're interchangeable. They're all the same fucking people. And that's why when he's taking AOC and using her as a source, I got to question him a little bit about that. You know, so what, AOC is absolved, bro, of any wrongdoing? She didn't give us Medicare for all. She didn't force the vote, bro. Where were you on that? You know, call AOC out, too, while you mention her. You know, you should say, AOC, the dumb cunt, said, you know, you should be more like me. Maybe grow it out a little bit. Maybe grow it out a little bit, bro. Hey, maybe do a little bit of these, bro. Get the guns going, bro. Come on. Let's get going, man. Wouldn't it be funny if I just become this total, like, motivationally, motivational dude? Is like, come on, everybody. Let's all work out. Come on, everybody. Be like Rob Mulligan. You can do it.
To influence Roy Blunt, another senator, so that he will change his vote to help Joe Manchin and his arguments against the far left. Incredible.
All right. Now, I cut his thought off there, and I really do like this guy's line of thinking. So let's listen to his whole statement right there.
Far left. Incredible. Now, let me play AOC's reaction to this. She brings this up in discussion on Joe Manchin on Morning Joe. On this commission. This is everything wrong with Washington, D.C., the revolving door. Manchin here negotiating with billionaire donors to get them to influence Roy Blunt, another senator, so that he will change his vote to help Joe Manchin and his arguments against the far left. Incredible.
And this is how money works in Washington. And anybody who thinks that the left isn't as corrupt as the right is lying to themselves, and they're fucking delusional. This is the web. This is the entanglement in Washington, between corporations in Washington. Totally exposed. And yet there's still people out there who will cover for people like AOC and use her as a legitimate source. Let's watch Rational National rely on AOC for her information and her input and hear his reaction to what she has to say. This should be interesting.
Now, let me play AOC's reaction to this. She brings this up into discussion on Joe Manchin on Morning Joe.
Joe Manchin put out a memo yesterday on this, and it is, probably the most significant existential, emotional issue. He is, of course, also at the center of the infrastructure talks. But on the voting rights thing in particular, both of you, do you think he's acting in good faith in proposing that compromise or not?
Yeah, I think, there was audio leaked yesterday on The Intercept about the senator's conversations with big donors and saying, hey, cut me a break on the commission. We should be negotiating with each other as colleagues, not with billionaires and donors, period. Our policy should be with other public servants and our colleagues, and that's not even negotiating with Republicans, elected officials. And so I think that especially, again, when we talk about bipartisan deals, we should not be cutting out the big money provisions in H.R. 1, because the big money provisions are what's driving down wages, and big corporate lobbyists that have a disproportionate megaphone on Washington, more than working people do. They are the ones that are coming after the big money provisions in H.R. 1 the most. And by the way, those dark money groups are the ones that are purchasing these voter suppression campaigns and organizing in places like Georgia, Texas, Arizona, election challenges. And so we have to address all of it in this bill.
I mean, you ask why we don't have high-speed rail. It's the airline lobby, the oil lobby, the car lobby. Any state in the country that wants to invest in a new highway gets an 80 or 90% match. A new airport, new runway, 80% match from the federal government. High-speed rail, nothing. That's policy from Congress. And where do you think that came from?
Look, I think AOC should be on as many networks, on as many shows as possible. If not for anything else, then to just bring up reporting like this that will not see the light of day if it weren't for people like AOC bringing it up on these shows.
Oh my God!
And of course, I imagine MSNBC never played that audio, didn't discuss this issue, because CNN, MSNBC, they absolutely, and mainstream press in general, New York Times, Washington Post, they love Joe Manchin because he represents
dude, we see evidence after situation, after fucking video, after phone call, after fucking evidence, after situation, time and time again. We know that the politicians are bought off. All of them. He's literally sitting here saying, oh, AOC. No, fuck AOC, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't think she's just as bought off as everybody else? She is literally the Tesla calling the Chevy 350 big block damage for the environment. That's what she is. She's a hypocrite. You shouldn't be a hypocrite too, bro. You are smarter than that. She's got you by your fucking balls, just like she had Tim Black by his, and just like she had Sam Cedar and oh God, who the fuck else was defending AOC during that force the vote thing? Just fucking sickened me so much. I can't remember. Fucking all those idiots. If you don't think all of them are corrupt, man, you're part of the problem. You're literally sitting there defending the lunatic left. Are you fucking kidding me? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about all this? I'm not getting any chat, guys. If this isn't moving, I'm not getting any chat, right? I'm still sitting here just waiting. I'm not a fan of AOC. I'm trying to catch up, though, on the show. All right. Well, thank you, Josh. You're the only person that's talking to me, and I do appreciate that. I hate Nancy. Anyway, she's crooked as fuck. Just look at the district she's over. Right, San Francisco? Is that her? Is that Nancy Pelosi? I don't even know. Is she even... I don't know. Is Nancy... I don't even know. I don't even understand what her position is in California. You're correct about AOC. Fuck her. Thank you, James. Good. I want to make sure that you guys are listening and that you guys are picking up on my sentiment here. There's an ant on me. Little ant was crawling on me. All right, let's keep going.
The true center of America. When It's just complete bullshit when you look at the actual polling on the issues. The vast majority of Americans side progressive on the issues. They support single-payer health care.
Right.
They support raising wages. They support a higher corporate tax rate. But
oh, isn't that weird? He didn't say Medicare for all. Did you guys notice that? Let's go back. Huh, why wouldn't she submit? Isn't Medicare for all the number one thing?
look at the actual polling on the issues. The vast majority of Americans side progressive on the issues. They support single-payer health care. They support raising
Single-payer.
wages. They support
Single payer health care. He doesn't want to say Medicare for all. He doesn't want to say Medicare for all. He's trying to get himself a fucking job on mainstream media. He's parroting what they do. He's very careful with his words, isn't he? Single payer health care. I didn't even hear it. He just glazed right over that one, single payer health care. What? What about Medicare for all? What's the difference? Why wouldn't you just say Medicare for all? Isn't that weird? I wonder what the difference is between single payer and Medicare for all. Does anybody know? Somebody look it up and let me know.
a higher corporate tax rate. But the way these media outlets represent politics in America, they represent it as, or they showcase it as the way Congress is set up. So they have this, the furthest left you could possibly get in the minds of these mainstream media outlets is AOC, and far right is Donald Trump, and Joe Manchin somewhere in the middle. The reality is, looking at the actual policy issues, the vast majority of Americans are with AOC. So it's not the far left. AOC is a moderate in terms of the actual how policies are viewed by the masses. So the way that politics is represented in the mainstream press is just completely out of whack. And these conversations about corporate influence on politics need to continue. And of course, ultimately, if we get to the heart of the issue, it's capitalism, and that's and its role in all of this. So, but that's, of course, that's a much different topic that will never be discussed on these networks. You're never going to see a socialist host any of these shows, for the obvious fact that this is a corporate network. These are corporate networks, corporate outlets that aren't going to represent a socialist.
So he calls himself a socialist. Interesting.
View as the one that maybe makes the most sense. But anyways, different topic. But here it was good to see AOC bring this reporting up and help to expose the corruption that isn't just Joe Manchin, but generally politics in Washington, D.C.
But not AOC, and everyone should watch AOC, and AOC should be on all the shows talking about what AOC wants to talk about, right? Okay, bro. All right, maybe you're smarter than me on some things, but maybe I'm smarter than you on others. You know, when it comes to this, I got you. I'm afraid. You know? What do you guys think? Who knows more about AOC? Who's smarter about AOC? Rational National or Nay's Garden? Whose opinion do you value more on AOC? Rational National, who says she should be on all the shows because she's exposing Washington. We already know Washington, bro. We don't need AOC to go in there and say, it's all happening. We already know, and she's part of it. She's already proven the fact. She didn't go there to do what she claimed she was going to do. No Medicare for all. That's what it's called, bro. Medicare for all. Medicare for all. That's what it's called. Medicare for all. Say the words, man. And nobody's going to look this up for me, huh? I'm going to have to do it myself. Okay, Google. What's the difference between Medicare for all and single-payer health care?
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. Within single-payer healthcare systems, a single government or government-related source pays for all covered healthcare services. Examples include the United Kingdom's National Health Service, Australia's Medicare, and Canada's Medicare.
So I guess it's the exact same thing. Why are we using two different words? It's like, are we trying to there's no better way to break apart a movement than to obscure the terminology and to confuse people. So I've been confused. I think I'm a pretty intelligent guy, but all up until right now, this very moment, and I've been hearing the term over and over and over again. Single payer healthcare, single payer healthcare, single payer healthcare, single payer healthcare, single payer healthcare. Why don't you call it government paying? Oh, because that sounds like socialism. Oh, we can't use that word, so we call it single payer. I got a little friendly hornet in here. He's buzzing around. He's lost. I got the door wide open. Hey, dude. Hey, little dude. Hey, little dude. Hey, little dude. What are you doing? He's on my coffee cup. He's on the window now. I might be able to catch him if he stays right there. No. He just flew over my head. Did he fly out? Oh, no, now he's in that one. That way, bro. It's that way. I know if I close the blinds, he'll figure it out. Here. If I turn off the light. Oops. There he goes. He's out. Boom. Just like that. Just like that. And he's out. Both loud. You want to unconfuse a hornet? Close all the light sources, even if you have a television set on, or even a computer monitor can confuse a hornet. They are going to fly towards light. So, if you want to get a hornet out of your house easily, open up a big door that's got light coming through it, and close blinds and turn off the lights, and they'll go boom, right? In 1 second, they go right for the light door. You always beat MSM in telling the facts. Thank you, James DeWeaver. Yeah, I do, don't I? And this guy, if you're literally defending AOC and saying AOC, you are mainstream media. It's like I wanted to interview this guy, and now I have absolutely no desire to, because he is a fucking phony, man. He is a fucking anybody that doesn't see politics like this. I mean, after what AOC just did to Jimmy Dore and Kyle Kalinske, and this motherfucker still supports her, you know? And nobody sees my shit. It doesn't get a thumb up ever. But I'm still on there, and I'm still going to type something. Fuck. After what AOC just did to force the vote, you still want her voice heard, only proves you are either angling for an MSM spot or are convinced convinced. After what AOC just did to force the vote, you still want her voice heard, and you still want her voice heard. This only proves you're either angling for an MSM spot or convinced that some politicians are okay. I don't buy that for a second, but I bet you are corrupt too. I guarantee you this motherfucker's corrupt. I guarantee you. You know, someone as intelligent as him that looks at AOC and says, now that woman needs to be heard. Her voice needs to be amplified because she's exposing Washington for the corruption. Dude, that's your job. That's my job. That's our job. That's Jimmy Dore's job. That's MSM's job, even though they don't do it. That because they're part of the corruption. That's our job to expose them. Not from within. We already know what's going on inside there. You know, and for you to give AOC credit, supposedly, for exposing corruption in Washington is a fucking joke. And you are a fucking joke. You are not to be taken seriously. Dominic, what's up? I'm sorry this show isn't interesting for so many people, man. I'm sorry that people are not interested by what I have to say on here. There's way more people that are interested in what Rational National has to say. He's got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, everybody. He's got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and I've got 13 people watching me right now. So I got some advice. Hey, why don't y'all go subscribe to Rational National? All right, and because the sheep, obviously out there, that's what they want, and the people that were here watching me expose him, they don't want to hear it. So you know, I don't know what to tell you guys. My own audience doesn't want to watch me eviscerate people that need to be eviscerated, and you know, obviously not stimulating enough for you guys. AOC is a plagiarist. Yeah, so is Joe Biden. So, 13 viewers, guys, and I fucking had it. I'd do a 3-hour show, but I got 13 fucking viewers. I love the 13 of you, don't get me wrong, but everybody else can go fuck themselves. All right? You guys take care. Bye.